Hello and welcome back to Life Well Booked. Here you are with Britt and Steph,
Good
and we
morning.
are going to talk about all things STR today, and specifically around direct bookings. And direct bookings are a hot spot, especially in 2026,
Mm-hmm.
as we have all these other booking platforms on the rise of increasing their rates on what they're charging back to,
Host.
host and short-term rental owners. So direct bookings are the name of the game in 2026, and we're here to talk about how we get them, what we do, and all the ins and outs of direct bookings without losing our minds, mind you.
Good point.
Because direct bookings are one of those things.
Everybody wants direct bookings, right? Because you don't have to pay a fee. I
Right.
mean, all these websites charge a fee, and we love working with them. So please don't take it wrong. It's just the more we can convert from those sites to our direct bookings, it just means more bottom line revenue for us. So even 1 or 2 or 5 percentage points change over the course of a year is quite a bit of money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So when you first started, let's talk about when you first started EVR. Did you have any direct bookings, or was it just through the booking platforms?
I'll tell you, when I first started EVR, it was really VRBO only because it was so long ago.
Right.
It was, 14 years ago. Airbnb was probably coming on. I mean, you could look at their
They were.
history, but I wasn't really actively using them because they were just coming on. So it was VRBO and direct bookings. And all of my direct bookings at that time, which we still use, came from the MLS because
Okay.
we're realtors.
Yeah.
So realtors would call, they would help their clients, whatever. And so I would do all these, back then, handwritten leases and I mean, honestly, we didn't even have a rental agreement. We were using a lease that we were sort of doctoring up for vacation rental. It wasn't really the best course of action, but 14 years ago, it was a new industry, to be honest.
You were pioneering the way for
Kind
short-term
of.
rental.
Kind of. But we still love direct bookings, and we still want them. So I would say, I mean, half of my business was direct bookings
Back then.
back then.
Okay,
Back
so
then.
then back then, how did you get direct bookings back then? Like how?
I'm telling you, MLS
Okay.
was the big one. So other realtors
Okay,
would
so
be.
then you would have realtors being on the MLS,
Mhm.
and then they would reach out to you.
Yes, and then I would have a conversation with their clients, and then we would handwrite a lease. I mean, literally, we didn't have software then, and et cetera. So that was kind of how it was. The other place that I got a lot of direct bookings from too was repeat guests,
Right.
which is how we get a lot today too.
Correct.
And so people that have stayed with our company before, or people that stayed in the very same house before that wanted to come year after year. But as our inventory grew, people want to switch things up or do something different next year or whatever. So those were the two ways. It was honestly repeat and the MLS.
So at what point did you bring the website in?
The website came with our software. So we signed up for software, which I think you all know we use Streamline in 2016.
Okay.
So we've been a 10-year client of Streamline now. I think you could argue sort of one of their legacy accounts. They have told us that because they too have not been around forever.
Well, right, because there was not really many booking platforms back then.
There wasn't any software or nothing. So
Right.
they were kind of one of the first, and we were early adopters, I guess, back then, but we've been a long-term client of theirs. But that's when the website came.
Okay.
And so people being able to do things on their own.
Right.
It was all super manual intervention back then. Even the VRBO bookings that I got came through on some email that I had to figure out what to do with. And then I had to handwrite back then a lease, we called it, because we
Wow.
were using the wrong thing. We have rental agreements now. We've covered that before and what the difference is.
Right.
But yeah, that's how it was all manual.
So be thankful that you weren't doing short-term rentals 10 plus years ago, because you'd be pulling your hair out right about now.
I'll say this though, honestly, Brett, it's probably okay that some people still do that. So again, we always talk about if you need help, we're here.
Right.
But if you're doing one property or you're doing a couple and you're doing it on your own, you're probably going to be in that position where different things are going to come from different places, and you're going to have to manipulate it and articulate it back to the guest in some kind of a rental agreement.
Right.
VRBO certainly was not doing anything with any kind of a rental agreement that you could produce through their website back then either. It was literally just an email that said, "Oh, these people want a book."
Now you figure it
Now you
out.
figure you call them.
You do it.
And they didn't charge, they only charged the grandfathered in fee to sort of be a part of the website back
That
then.
is so crazy.
And so they didn't really have a hand in that. It was, they got their fee and they just passed the information along. And if you closed it, you closed it. And if you didn't, you didn't.
That is so
So
wild.
a little different now.
So today now we have, all
We have all
bunch
the
more.
things.
Oh my God, we have so many more platforms that we could be booking on,
Mhm.
from Airbnb to VRBO to
Booking.com,
Booking.com.
to Marriott, to, I mean, everybody,
You name
TripAdvisor,
it.
you
You
name
name
it.
it.
There's
And
so many.
so, but here we are still trying to say, hey, we need to recapture these direct bookings because that's how we produce more income in the long run because
Mhm.
these companies are all taking, percentages of the commissions. And so the things that we do today, what are those things to help bring back those direct bookings, or how are we placing ourselves in front of the market to capture direct bookings?
Couple ways.
Okay.
We still use the MLS. So I'll go back to that because that is still a place for other local realtors to be able to help their clients. So we do get manual calls all the time. But the nice thing now is we can direct them to our website and they can look around and or they can book the exact property they want without our manual intervention. So that's still a number one way for us and a very important way. We also get a lot of direct bookings because we advertise on insurance company websites, on, for people that are remodeling their houses, for people's houses that burn down, all that stuff. And so those end up being direct bookings as well, because again, they can book on our website, which avoids a lot of things for
Right.
them. They know how, most of those companies know how to look around. Kind of corporate bookings are that way too. They end up booking directly on our website. So that's important that we stay in the corporate arena and make sure we're talking to all the meeting planners and booking agents for companies in our world like Intel or
Right.
TSMC, or there's some big companies obviously here in Phoenix. So that's how we do that. What's really important though, and that we can direct people to often, is we don't charge fees on our website. So we're always going to be the lowest price on our website.
Right.
You find that in the hotel business too. When you book direct, you save, right? And I think the general public kind of knows that. But I think that's the most important thing is we keep no fees. It's just what it is. There's
Right.
no markup. There's no playing around, right? We still pass the same amount of money onto our owners, but our prices look better.
They do look better. And that's one thing that if you are a host or you're considering short-term rental, is take a look at our website, if anything, is because when you go onto our website and you go to start booking, we have a tool on there, and that will tie into the AI piece that we'll talk about here in a little bit, is
It's
we
called
have
direct
a
booking
tool.
tools.
Right. We have a tool and it will show you this is how much you would save or this is how much you would spend if you booked on Airbnb
or VRBO.
Right. And so
And then our website directly, and it just outlines the price for you. So that's another big key for us. So that right on our website, we publish the difference so that hopefully that encourages them. There's still an amount of people out there that feel like the platform that they book on somehow is going to protect them.
they do feel that way.
And that's okay. Like, I understand why they feel that way, but look, the truth is in the end, Airbnb and VRBO and Booking.com and Marriott, and they don't control the inventory. They're not managing the homes. They don't check you in and out or take care of your toaster that's broken. They don't do any of it. So they are marketing sites only to pass the information to somebody else that's going to be actually taking care of that has the inventory. So the real truth is when we can educate people about, you're going to end up with us anyway, generally they'll direct book.
Right. Another way I believe that we get, that I know for a fact that we get direct bookings or even repeat bookings, because
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge one,
Marketing.
is marketing. Our emails, our Instagram, our, Facebook, social media stuff is really key because, if you're running a company or you're running a short-term rental that has more than probably 5 rentals,
Yep.
you really want to be remarketing back out to your past guest, sending them discounts, sending them updates, things to do in the area that you're, hosting in. Those are
Look,
really important things.
we remind people all the time that we're still here.
4 times a month.
And we have a schedule, but
Right.
you could have a schedule, you could have a lighter schedule, whatever, but you have to remind people. Sometimes people lose track of who you are if they
They
booked
do.
on a platform. Like they don't even remember that it's tied back to Elite Vacation Rentals or any XYZ or company
Right.
name. So you have to remind them with marketing that that's really who they stayed with before.
Right. It wasn't Airbnb.
It
'Cause
was an
that's not even
Airbnb.
a
That's
thing.
not a
You
thing.
can't even do
That's a
that.
marketing site and
Right.
everybody's on it and it's great, but it's limited. You mentioned also discounting. So because we are going to be under all of the other platforms, only because of the fees that they charge folks, we have room to do some
Right.
discounting. So not only can we have the lowest price, but we can discount on top of that.
Right.
A lot easier than we can on the platforms.
Correct.
Of course, we can do promotions on the platforms too, but the truth is moving people onto direct booking that's where we have the room to do a little bit of that discounting or the personal touch stuff that is very hard to advertise.
Right. And I think, remembering as a host that once you get the guest into the home, that marketing and the direct booking doesn't stop there, is having the pieces in the home with our logos on it, right? With our branding. So then the branding continues to carry on as they leave the home. And that will then bring back those direct bookings because it's all a reminder at the end of the day.
I should have brought in here the things that we do leave in the home.
Oh, right.
We have reminders about how the star system works in a vacation rental for the review purposes with our name on it. We provide a gift to everybody that checks in from Elite Vacation Rentals. And that gift changes. Right now it's a stadium bag and some water bottles that they can refill. But again, they're reminded of those things that they can take home. Of course, our phone number directly and website are all over them. And so they can always call us and rebook. And then people will more remember. But that's how we handle it in the house. That's for sure.
Right.
So not only does it have to go in their email inbox, it has to go on their socials. It has to be available to them when they get in the house.
Yep.
Like as many times as we can remind them who's really managing this house.
Right.
The best.
So it's just about getting creative in your direct bookings. There's not one specific way on how to do it.
Nope.
There's not really. It's just how can you get creative with the information that you have and present it to the public.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's how you get the direct bookings. And then, of course, having your business card, handing out your business card here and there and whatnot, and, chatting it up. Other than that, there's no real super secret to
No.
direct bookings. It's really just staying in front of the people, staying in the public eye, and repeatedly just reminding them of who you are, what you do, and just, hey, come back.
There's a couple, there's a lot of people involved in our industry now, and there's a couple companies now that are doing some work with AI and digging deeper into people's socials and realizing that they're looking for something specific and feeding our properties to them directly. Those are about direct bookings too. So their whole take is we're going to market specifically to get them straight over to your website. It's not inexpensive, but it's effective.
Right.
And because there's enough room there, because you have a little bit more money to work with, even paying an outside person or an outside company to help you with that transition to get them to direct booking is probably worth it.
Yeah. And you know what else is, we're going to touch on the AI piece right now. But before we go down that little rabbit hole, is another piece that I just remembered that we have here at EVR for direct booking is our blog. Our blog does really well, and it does capture quite a few people to come back to the website to read because our blogs are about, ghost towns in Arizona, things to do, golfing, all the things. And so it's, again, just getting very creative with how to get your information in front of as many people as possible.
I think what I want to say is the word comprehensive.
Mm,
If you do one thing, it's probably not going to work in concert with anything else. And so one is better than zero things that you do, but really having this diet of a number of touch points.
yes.
Every touch point you can think of with the guest has to kind of be affected. So whether that's in the home before they get here, reminding them who you are in advance, even all of our check-in instructions and everything that they are looking at the whole time are heavily branded.
Yep.
So in our homes on the televisions now, literally talks about elite vacation rentals. Of course, it's talking to them about how to use the Wi-Fi in the
Of
pool and
course.
all the stuff, but heavily branded inside the homes.
Right. So
you have to think about all the different touch points before, during, and after their stay.
it's true. That's really that would probably be the key to the direct bookings is just remembering that, implementing it, and just being consistent, just continuously doing it.
Savvy bookers now also understand who the property management company is. It's kind of obvious on the various websites because people
Right.
want to know who the host is.
Yes.
Savvy bookers now will jump off the platform that they found your house on and do a search through through AI or through Google,
Right.
and they will find us, and they will find us directly, and they will find the exact same home at a lower price.
At a lower price.
Right.
Look at that.
We don't actively encourage that. I want to be honest because we appreciate the booking platforms.
We do.
And a lot of our business comes from them. So that's not our intention. It's just savvy bookers. You can see them do it. Sometimes they'll even book a reservation on one of the platforms, cancel it, and rebook on our website, which we also don't encourage, but we can't really control their behavior. So
we can't.
we let them do it.
That's one thing is like if you are performing in Airbnb and you tell your guest, hey, you could just go ahead and book directly, you will get in trouble and you will get banned out of Airbnb.
Yeah, we don't
You
do
cannot
that.
do that. So that is if you're like, oh, I know how to get more direct bookings. I'm going to just tell them to come to my website. Don't do that.
We don't
You will
do
get
that.
in trouble. You'll get kicked out of Airbnb or any of those
We
platforms.
don't
They don't do
participate
that.
in that, but you can see that people do it.
Right.
And so because we do so many, we do 5,000 reservations per year. So
It's a lot.
some percentage of those come
Right.
because people are playing those kinds of games.
Right.
But I mean, I guess I call them savvy bookers because they kind of understand they're going to end up with us anyway.
Yeah, I think so. What about the MLS?
Okay.
And being a realtor and how important it is
Super important.
to be how you have created the business EVR, how we all have our license, and why you really did that. Like, why is that so important to you that everyone on our team has a real estate license?
I think it's so that we, as realtors, can speak to guests about all of the things. So, look, we take seriously the fact that we have licenses and there's language that we can use. There's negotiating that we can do because we have licenses. It's not that every property manager in every jurisdiction has to have a license. You do happen to need to have one in Arizona, particularly if you book anything more than 30 days. So please know that. But all of the states are different, I'm sure, and all the jurisdictions are different. But why the MLS is important is for two reasons. One is people feel good about the fact that we have licenses at risk. Like none of the people on our team are going to do anything nefarious, malicious, any of the above because they don't want to risk their license. You know, they'd rather sell houses and have that as additional income than and or not be strung up by the real estate board for any reason, right? So that puts a level of professionalism in the business. I think that our clients really appreciate it and our guests appreciate it.
Yes.
Sometimes that's even a question when they're booking. Like, are you a realtor? Anybody can put a logo on anything say, I do this for a living. But you know what? Where is the street cred or the credibility? And so we think that licensing is really important for that reason. So again, on the client side too, it becomes super important. If you have 200 houses on the MLS, all as vacation rentals, which you're allowed to do here in Arizona, at least for ones that offer 30 days or more.
Right.
Let me be clear on
Yeah.
that.
Those are no short terms. It's
Not-
30 days
yeah.
or more on the MLS.
As long as you can book them for 30 days or more. It also creates additional client base.
Right.
So other realtors see that and they're like, oh, they're obviously in this business. Maybe I can tell my client about that. I haven't dabbled in this STR world before, but they can see that we're big and active on the MLS. So it's good for that reason. It's also good when people check up on us to make sure that they feel comfortable with their sometimes very expensive bookings.
But that, and then also, like the homeowners themselves, like we have a standard.
Yep.
And we're going to hold that standard to your home and to everything we do.
Right. And God forbid if something ever goes wrong, look, you have somewhere to go.
Right.
You can go to the real estate board with whatever you want. Has that happened? No. But that's not the point. The point is they feel that they can and that there is a governing body, but we don't do stuff wrong. So it's not.
Right. It's a layer of like a good faith.
It's a good faith layer. Yeah. So lots of reasons.
Lots of reasons. So if you are a real estate agent and you are an STR, think about looking to explore the MLS as a way to promote your home. When we were talking, you said that we use an AI app called Booking Direct.
Oh, no, our tool on the website is called Booking Insights. So that's the one that gives you the comparison.
Okay.
That VRBO Airbnb versus our website. But we use an AI tool called Perplexity.
Okay.
So.
And then, so AI is just quite a thing, right? And so in our business, we have a tech stack with some AI in there.
Tons.
I mean, of course we use, the Claude, the chats, Perplexities and stuff like that. But outside of that, there are other AI tools that we are using.
Oh, for sure.
For our production and guest interactions,
client interactions.
How is that working?
It's great.
Okay.
And I guess everyone probably knows that as the more you use AI, the smarter it gets.
Right.
Gets smarter about your particular business. So the more things that you're feeding it, it is getting smarter and smarter in its responses. But we use AI for everything now.
So have you seen an offloading of work in some areas where team members on the team doing specific things don't have to worry so much about that one specific thing, where it gets offloaded to that AI app, and then they have more room to do
other
more
things.
important things.
Yes. No, or just even the things that are important are done in a much quicker time frame. So true that.
Right.
Other thing that's really important about AI is the way people behave when they're booking, which we were talking about. So, it used to be, oh, click, Google, I want to stay in Arizona, blah, 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 or go on the Airbnb site and go type in Phoenix, whatever. Or Google, oh, I would like to stay in Arizona, or I need a property management company, or whatever you type in. AI is a little different perspective because now people they're laying out their whole vacation.
Right.
They're like, I want to go to the Grand Canyon and I want to do this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that. And now tell me where I should stay. And literally, if you are not feeding that beast, your properties won't show up that way. And those show up as direct bookings as well.
Oh, okay.
So the good news is those are feeding right back to our website. So another really key piece. So having your website be, I don't know what the right term is. AI. Is that a term?
It is.
AI optimized is really important because people just are thinking about things totally differently.
Oh, in today's world, absolutely.
So we're really on the forefront of making sure that we follow the lead as to kind of how they're moving in the world now and how they're thinking about things. And we hopefully are on the catcher's end of that.
I mean, honestly, have a wedding to go to in October in Vermont. And I was like, you know what?
What do I know about Vermont?
Well, I have been there, but I was thinking, well, maybe I could try using Claude to find me
the setup for all the things you want to do.
Flights. I was like, I need flights for this.
I need a place to stay.
And then it just kept running in the behind the scenes, and it would send me things like, here's the best price. Here's the best. And I was like, oh my. Like, I've never booked a vacation that way. So now I guess probably other vacationers are out there like, okay, going to Arizona. I want to stay in Tempe. I want 4 bedrooms with a
My
pool.
son's at ASU. I need to be close to the
Right.
school. I definitely have to have a heated pool. I mean, it's
It can
even
you can like
you can
load
layer in as
it.
much stuff as you want of how you want your trip to pan out. I
Right.
got 4 days. That's all I got. Whatever it
Give
is.
me the closest spot to all the hot spots around in Tempe or whatever it is.
Give me the time of year that's going to be the
Right.
most cost effective, or make sure I'm coming during the, Phoenix Open, whatever it is. But I will, that's interesting that you just said that, because I just booked a cruise recently and
Okay.
I'm sure as heck did it the old fashioned way. Some advertisement came and I was like, let me Google about that. I did it absolutely backwards from what we're talking about. I just booked it the straight way, but I should have really said, here's the itinerary. Here's the month I want to go. Here's the experience. Here's the experience I want to have.
Yes.
We're adults. We don't have kids. We this, we that. Now tell me what cruise line I should go on, what dates I should go, the optimal weather, all of the stuff.
Okay, so
And
now
I
that's
didn't
gonna
do
be
it.
that's gonna be your task for today, and
Right.
I want you to tell me how it goes. Like maybe it finds something better.
I know. I think I'm going to go in and put that in and
I
make
think
sure
I
and see
would.
if I made a good choice or
Yeah,
not.
I
But
think
you're
I
right.
would.
I just my own self did it the old fashioned way. And what am I doing?
Well, that's what I was like when I was booking those website or the flights. I was like, wait, maybe I'm gonna. Does this even work this way?
Right.
Right? And I was
Sure
like,
does.
and it sure did. And we got a great flight. Great,
Sure
great
does.
deal. It was like, okay, well, that was easier than having to go to American, Southwest, Google, like all the
All
things,
the
right?
things. And the aggregator sites. And you don't
Right.
need all that. It'll just pull from all those places. Now, of course, AI is also getting smarter about all that.
Yep.
So every time you do it that way, it's smarter and smarter, and people have experiences. It can look for reviews, like,
Right.
oh, and then show me only places with this kind of review, and show me places that
Right. So
you crazy.
if you are
It'll
in,
scour the descriptions.
it
You
will.
guys.
It does
It's
everything.
crazy.
If you are in short-term rental, being AI optimized is truly important.
Yep.
And it's not a scary place to be. You just need to learn it, learn what it can offer, learn the apps, right? And of course, like in our guest messaging, we have an AI assistant that will pop up and
Mhm.
it'll message back, and we get to approve that message or not, because
Yep.
sometimes AI does not get it right. And it's like, where do we go?
Or we might have answered that a little bit differently.
Right. So we could like edit it, fix it, but it's always learning. But it creates a faster, smoother transition for our guests to be able to be answered in a timely fashion.
I will say that danger in that is being so AI
Heavy. Okay.
that you become unrecognizable as a person. You have to be
Yes.
super careful that it's okay to mix AI with regular. I'm still a fan of take a look at that before you send it, because you want to make sure that you're very specifically answering a question or helping
Right.
people in a way. But some people, is this a robot? They write us and say that, and we're like, no, like
Oh, it's
we
just us.
have people behind the scenes, and we always are looking at everything that goes out in our name in particular. So that would be my one caution, is to be careful. But I know there are companies out there that everything is answered on AI. I mean, everything.
Really?
My toaster's broken, answered on AI. Like crazy.
Wow.
Like I'm
Okay.
not, we're not there. And I think we still believe in the personal touch, and we still have a phone number. I called a
Right.
property management company the other day for a reference on something, and they literally don't answer the phone. They
Oh.
do not. They just point you at AI. And that's how you interface with them. So you can get a call back if you
Wow.
request it, but we still are very service friendly and forward.
Well-
and we answer the phone, we answer text messages. We obviously answer sometimes through AI, but we answer all the ways.
I mean, traveling and hospitality is a human
It's
touch.
a human thing.
It's a human thing, right? So yes, AI is great for some things, but AI can't replace the human touch, right? Our warmth, our genuine, the, truth, like all of that, AI can't replace technically.
I also think that it ties back to the initial question, which is direct bookings.
Right.
Because the more human you are, they had a human interaction. It was a human experience. They book with you again.
Right.
So I do think that that's important. If it becomes too impersonal, I think you can be easily forgotten.
Super easily forgotten, because it's like, oh, I had a great conversation with Sarah on the phone, with the concierge. She was so nice and so, sweet
Helpful
and
and
helpful. And it's like, those are the things people remember.
yes.
And they want that, because I do think, even though AI is great, I think a lot of people are starting to get frustrated and annoyed with AI, because it's like, can I just
It's swinging way over here.
It's
And
like, can I just have
it
a
used to be
human?
over here, but we probably need to come here.
It's like everything seems to be AI generated, or it's like, and you're talking to AI. It's like, can I just talk to a person, please, for the love of all things? So don't get so AI heavy that you forget about the people that are actually booking and will be repeat bookers if you give them that experience that they're looking for.
Right. And no matter what, there's always a percentage of people that don't want anything to do with you, and they
Right.
don't want to talk to you, and they
And
just
that's
want
fine.
they want to book, stay, enjoy their time, and leave.
Right.
But there's many people in the middle that have questions and things, and you have to help them personally.
Right.
So that creates direct bookings.
That, in a nutshell, is how direct bookings, how AI is ran in our world. One other question I had for you is, with AI, do we do anything with pricing optimization with AI at all?
We do.
Okay.
We have quite a few pricing tools. I think we've talked about that in different segments, but
We have.
of course we have. There are algorithms. There is AI now involved in scouring people's websites to make sure that we understand what's actually going on in the market. What's important there is understanding the difference between what we call scraped data or fake data on what people are offering to sell their property for.
Right.
And then there's the actual what happened. And there's a big delta between those two. So being careful about, again, having some blend of those tools so that you understand what is real data and what is pie in the sky data.
Right.
And basing all your projections, calculations, and all your rates on that is a mistake.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's not a reality.
I think the best way.
It's a shot.
It is a shot. I think the best way, maybe, for if you're pricing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is, you do the work yourself on what you think the pricing would be, throw it into the optimization tools, see where they come up, say, okay, am I too far off? Am I
right? Use it as
where
a
am I?
Tool.
Right. Where are other people? Where am I? And then be like, okay, this has totally got it wrong, because it decided to pick up an extra bedroom, and I clearly said it was a 3-bedroom, right? And so, like, those are the things.
Or there's there's also a big difference between a 4-bedroom house and a 4-bedroom house. A 4-bedroom house could be a luxury property with views to die for, with heated pools and all the goodies. And it could be a 4-bedroom house that's basic.
Right.
And unfortunately, those AI tools sort of look at the 4 bedrooms in that same zip code all the same way.
Right. Because it doesn't know, like, that this house sits on a hill.
It doesn't
And it
know.
has mountain views or whatnot.
It doesn't know. Or it's just a luxury property. It has a pickleball court in the backyard.
Right.
There's just not enough variables. But AI can really help with that, because you can put in a lot more variables, which is nice. So again, another good way to get direct bookings, because you're going to be very specific about your pricing, about your particular homes and what they actually have to offer, instead of just using tools.
Right. So tools, human touch, humans all matter, right?
Yep.
So if you're in this business and you have your STR, or you're considering about becoming a host, or you just really don't know which way to go with managing, and you're like, maybe I want to manage, maybe I don't want to manage, reach out to us. We've got so much experience within the STR world, and our business has not been stifled due to AI, and we're consistently learning, and we're growing.
We're embracing all the
we're
things.
embracing it, and we're like, okay, this is where we're heading. Let's fix this. Let's do this, and I feel like everyone on the team really is good at their specialty of creating and making sure we're still going in the forward direction. Like the move is forward,
Constant
upward,
evolution.
and onward. Right.
Absolutely.
And it's like, if something new is happening, what are we doing? How are we knowing about it? What's going on? So
correct.
reach out to us. The point of this whole entire story is reach out to us. We would love to have a conversation with you and assist, if you've got questions about this episode or really any of our episodes, or you just don't really know which way to
And
head.
we'll help you anywhere,
Right.
any jurisdiction. I'm happy to provide some insight if you just had some questions. Like, it doesn't
You
make
could be
any
across the
difference.
world because
We don't care.
I know I'm watching those analytics. People across the world are watching
Ah,
and
nice.
listening. So if you are across the world, feel free. It's STR is STR. The demographics might be different. The area might be different, but there's still some very
fundamentals are the
solid
same.
fundamentals of STR and how it works and how it keeps going.
Totally agree.
Do you have anything else to add to today's episode?
Last thing I want that we think we might have forgotten about was SEO.
Oh, yep.
So
we sure did.
we talked about having a website for
Mhm.
sure. So even if you have one property, have a website for your property.
Yes.
Even if you have 4, have a website that people, and hopefully people can somehow direct book on them.
Yes.
So however you manage that, just have your own, because you can't get direct bookings if you don't have a place to get direct bookings.
It's very true.
So, and then optimizing that opportunity or that website is going to be really important. Look, the truth is you're not going to be able to, nor can we compete with the Airbnbs and VRBOs of the world and the Marriotts and there's not enough money.
We're not even the same.
It's not the same, and there's not enough money on the planet
Right.
to even do it. But you have to do the best that you can to get as ranked high enough as you can so people can find you.
Right.
And make it easier to find you. So I'm not saying SEO is the end of the world, but I do think that there's still room for search engine optimization.
Making sure you have your SEO, your AEO, which is AI optimization as well. Really, just make sure you have the whole thing.
I mean, I guess what I wanted to say is it sounds a little overwhelming.
It does.
If I was somebody that had 1 or 2, I would be a little bit overwhelmed with all this conversation. One bite at the apple at a time is okay.
Yes.
And look, of course, over time, we've bit off the apple a million times.
Right.
So we kind of are mature in our business. But I think what's really important is that you really have to think of all these things. And it's not enough to throw it up on Airbnb and be like, oh, I think it'll work out. Not
Right.
necessarily.
Not necessarily. And that's the thing is, that's a good point. If you're listening to this, don't get overwhelmed.
No.
Just sit down, come up with a plan, use Claude, use ChatGPT, use
Call us.
Perplexity, call us. Hey, help me with the plan here because I want to do this, but I don't know which way to head.
Yep.
Come up with a plan and then you just start chipping away at it one layer at a time.
Agree.
And then by the time you have another property, you're like, oh, this is what I need to do, right? So you got your training wheels on and then you just start doing it and doing it and doing it. And it gets easier. Or you don't even do it at all. You just call us and we'll do it for you.
We'll do it for you. And for a small fee.
For a small fee. For a nominal fee. Alrighty. Well, I think that's about it. Yeah.
I think so. I think we've exhausted direct bookings.
Direct bookings, AI, all the things. Be a realtor as well, which I think we should do an episode about that.
I do too.
About STR and realtors and real estate because
they're related.
I think it's a changing. Over here.
I think it's a changing.
All righty. Thank you
guys so much. We appreciate you coming and enjoy Life Well Booked.
Yes. Peace out.
Peace
Bye.
out. Bye.
Thanks for being here on Life Well Booked. If this episode fired you up, made you think, or left you feeling inspired, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Until next time, keep showing up big, living with intention, and building a life that stays well booked.